Greetings and welcome. This is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. Welcome to the energy of Sagittarius. This reading is for essentially the mutable fire sign of Sagittarius. Okay. And this is for the month of June 2022. So, firstly, there is a strong motivation within the inner world to purify some of the actions that may be trying to be sort of pushed forward. Okay, a lot of positive energy when it comes to this. Mars and Jupiter are in Aries, and according to the ascendant of Sagittarius, it's in the fourth house. Okay, what does that mean? It means that the inner world is somewhat volcanic. Okay, something where passions need to be expressed, and often this will take place in the domicile, in the place of home, or the idea of home, or also within the inner world that is constructed. Okay, this also refers to an interesting square when it comes to the emotions, the emotional world, the moon being in Cancer. And essentially, this pulls forward the need to address conflict within home, within any motherly relations, because it's a double impact here with Moon and Lilith in the seventh house. Okay. What this means is essentially others will come to you for emotional sort of nurturing, or they will provide for you sort of emotional nurturing, which you may come into conflict with, you may reject it, or it may be something where the walls of Cancer, the walls of the fourth house need to be sort of disintegrated, or they need to come down a little bit. Okay. This also has to do with the idea that conflict not only resides within the home, but it affects the inner world. Conflict outside, especially times of war or times of escalation of war, the theme of escalation of war becomes something that impacts the inner world, or impacts the sense that home is safe. Okay. Yeah, because I see a lot here when it comes to Mars in Aries and Neptune in Pisces, which are essentially planets that are within its own rulership. Okay, that affect essentially a type of voice, or perhaps a friend circle that is most immediate to Sagittarius. Okay, meaning that emotions may be strong, they may be quite forthcoming, and conflict within those emotions, needing to purify those emotions, are strong, and needing to sort of fortify or protect the inner world is strong. So not the easiest of months when it comes to emotional control or emotional regulation, but because of the empowering effects of Mars in Aries as well as Neptune in Pisces in your fourth and third houses, there's essentially here the ability to cultivate a sense of familiarity. Okay, to cultivate a sense of camaraderie with your friends, with your peers, with your brothers and sisters, if you have any, with your mothers especially, and fathers within the domicile, within home structures. Or it could be that you are empowered to move from the 12th to the first house energies, okay, of the closing of cycles and the beginning of new, the ability to walk new bridges or to walk new paths of faith that would lead you to this very strong Martian energy. Okay, so a lot of dynamism, a lot of energy is happening here that is infused and is sort of a link from the ephemeral world, or the etheric world, the dream world, into newness, into reality of Aries, the cardinal energy, the cardinal fire, the sort of light bringer of the zodiac. Okay. Um, when it comes to love, there is a great deal of sensuality, and people who come to you will bring you a sense of emotional soothing. Okay. Um, That's what I see, at least with the trine here, from the seventh to the fifth houses. Okay, and this brings forward for you uh, some strong eclipse energy that is slightly impacted, that gives you a sense of learning through relationships, of also learning through the new moon in Gemini. Its effect, its latent effect of moving from your sixth to seventh to the eighth houses. Okay, what does this mean? It means that there is a selfless capacity for you to potentially inhabit or embody, and it's through the disintegration uh, of dogma, of hard or blunt ways of speaking. Okay, learning through listening and learning through playfulness, mostly the energy of Gemini, solar energy in Gemini. This Gemini's month. So their solar return, these people that you encounter, especially if they're having birthdays, okay, will trigger for you some latent eclipse energy, okay, that has to do with the new moon and the activation of Taurus from the last eclipse season. And what does this do? It essentially awakens a type of dormant desire, if you so have it, of manifesting something in terms of collective wealth, okay? Wealth that pertains to um, your immediate communities, how to break that free, to shake that free. Essentially, people around you in your more immediate environment are somewhat restricted when it comes to the changes that are occurring to the face of wealth, of how things are valued, and essentially with Mercury retrograde essentially going direct again, there's a possibility of realization, of relearning what you can value, or what you may even consider sensual in nature, okay, or something that is pleasing to you in terms of your most immediate realities. But with the dragon's head and tail in the axis of Taurus and Scorpio, there is the underlying motif that we've been dealing with for some time of shared resources, of economies that have collapsed and are regenerating, okay? Death and rebirth cycles as to what we value, what makes us feel steady, what helps us keep on terra firma. And because of this great conjunction here, or this cluster of planets, including the North Node, we have Mercury in retrograde, Uranus, Venus, and the North Node in Taurus, okay? This activates for you something where you can perfect your creative energies, your craft, anything that has to do with the inner voice or the inner youth that is within you. There's a revamping of that energy, okay? And that gifts you with something where you, when you relate to others, you can sort of siphon or emotionally bathe in their emotional rawness, okay? So there's a lot of creative energy that can be activated through others, especially people who have this moon in Cancer energy, which is also in its own domicile, okay? Moon in Cancer, its own rulership, planetary rulership, and that's a very good thing. One thing I would warn against is to find a sense of perfection in others, in friends. You're not going to find it. Um, there's something about that energy where it's like the softness they have, or the creative work they produce, or the way they value certain things, especially when it comes to health. Try not to be overly critical on them. There's something about you that could potentially learn through others how to be patient, okay? How to stay in the present as opposed to looking to the future, or states of health, or states of work, what to value in terms of work or health. There's a perfectionist quality that is very hard to attain when it comes to the mind, and when it comes to um, speaking, or the delivery of speaking, okay? So people might not take your sort of advice, even though it may come from a firm place, maybe even a futuristic place, where you can sort of foretell what's going to happen to these people, it's better that they learn the lessons themselves as Mercury goes direct. Okay, that's what I'm seeing essentially here with this square, with Saturn in Aquarius in your third house, squaring Mercury in your sixth house for Taurus. Okay, in Taurus energy. So you can't really sort of tell people what to do when there's a stubborn quality or slowness to their mind. And you could be also dealing with a slowness to your work ethic or the sort of behavioral design in which you methodologically approach systems of work or blocks or obstacles. The idea here is to be patient with all those, and even though you are in a futuristic mindset, or you might meet people who are rebellious in nature that want to challenge the current state of affairs or the current states of being, the structures of being. There's a way for you to find that in patience, in being patient, you can find some sort of release. Okay. One good thing is that anything that you are taking in slow nature, especially when it pertains to your resources, okay, which is the second house in Capricorn, we have this Pluto retrograded here. That means there's shadow work that is occurring on a global level, the shadow orders that are essentially affecting the structures of business and economy, okay, the structures of worldly order and worldly affairs. They are being challenged and transformed in a Martian and Plutonic way on a global level, okay? And it's important for you to note that there are things that your subconscious mind can be privy to, and you can actually perfect a way of self-analysis or perhaps criticism upon these systems of wealth that are transforming, okay? And this will be very beneficial for your own well-being in terms of your dreams, in terms of the dreams of your friends, the dreams of others, the dreams of your community, okay? And I'm seeing here nothing but good when it comes to that because of this small triangle here, the blue triangle, okay, that pertains to your resources in Capricorn in the second house, the third house, and the fourth, your IC. There's certainly some form of dream or some sort of reassurance that comes from not knowing certain things, not knowing the unknown, with Pluto in retrograde, of the underworld out and how it pertains to your wealth as well as your work as well as your home, okay, and your friend circle. There's an idea here that essentially your friend circle will be a source of great wealth when it comes to the reaffirming quality that they can give you in terms of emotional support when it comes to the generation of wealth or the generation of a new world, okay. Yeah, so that is what I'm seeing, at least for the time being. Pars Fortune, it shows here that the ruler of Scorpio, Mars and Pluto, are strongly Mars and Pluto are strongly sort of highlighted, okay? And what does this mean? It means that you will be most fortunate when your moon, ascendant, and sun are combined together in a calculative triangulation, okay? It will activate some sort of past karma that needs to be released with the conjunction of the South Node in Scorpio in your 11th house, okay? What does that mean? Means that there's something that it's 11th and 12th house, by the way. There's something about a global community or a global sort of dream, a collective dream, a goal that you have. When it comes to deep transformation, it will come in the form of your immediate resources, your world, your idea of wealth, okay, that will evolve through the current configuration of Mars conjunct Jupiter in Aries, okay, in the 4th house, meaning that a lot of wealth can be had at home or within, okay. It's a type of spiritual wealth also. Yeah, and that's what I see as nothing but good in terms of clearing out past karma for the energy of Sagittarius. Do wish you well. I do thank you for the support. If you would like a private reading, I can go deeply into astrology or tarot as you wish. I do wish you well. Thank you. Bye-bye.